Welcome. This is section 4.3, writing equations of parallel and perpendicular lines. Get that title down. Before we start off, we need to do a couple of reminders here. Number one, what is a reciprocal? This word is going to come up today. Reciprocal is a ratio that is flipped on its head. So, for example, if you have 3/7, the reciprocal is 7/3. And don't forget, another reminder, we need to remember what is point-slope form. Point-slope form is the one that we studied on Thursday. Y minus y1 equals m, the slope, times x minus x1. We'll be using that a lot today as well. All right, diving in, first of all, we have two big words, parallel and perpendicular. The word parallel means lines that have the same slope. The reason they have the same slope is because they go in the same direction. So if we look at that black line there, and I draw another line that runs in the same direction, these two slopes will be the same. Okay? One slope is 6, the other one is 6 as well. Then we have perpendicular lines. Perpendicular is kind of the opposite of parallel. Perpendicular lines are lines that have opposite reciprocal slopes. So again, for example, we have the black line there. If I want to draw a perpendicular line there, it's going to meet that line at 90 degrees and kind of run in the opposite direction. So don't forget, these will be opposite reciprocals. If one slope is, for example, 2/3, the other one will have a slope of -3/2. So again, one's positive, one's negative, and they will be reciprocals. All right, two examples, and in each example there's kind of two different styles. First question, are the lines parallel or perpendicular? And they give you two equations here. In both cases, we need to identify the slopes to tell if they are parallel or perpendicular. The slope for the second equation is a little bit easier. We can see that it's parked right in front of the x, but it's not written as a variable. So remember, 0.4 means 4/10, which is 2/5. All right, second equation. This equation is not solved for y. So job number one is get y by itself. All right, so we can see the slope. All right, we'll take the equation over here, rewrite it, and get y by itself. It's a two-step process. We need to cancel the 5x from both sides. Again, there's the equal sign. I'm left with -5x plus 6. And now finally we've got to get rid of that 2 in front of the y. Again, notice it's connected by multiplication, so we will divide both sides by 2. And so here we have to divide both of these things by 2 on the right side. So we have y equals, so we have -5/2 times x plus 6. And now, yes, we can spot the slope. There it is. Okay, so the slope is -5/2. And if we look at our previous slope, we had a slope of 2/5. So if I look at these and I ask myself, are they the same? No. Are they opposite reciprocals? Yes. So these two lines are perpendicular lines. All right. Second equation, or second example of the first example. Now they give us just two sets of points. So the first question is, we have to look at the line that goes through 210 and 413 and the line that goes through 49 and 612. Well, we're going to find the slope in each case. Subtract the y's, subtract the x's. And we get 3 over 2. Second equation, same thing. 12 minus 9, 6 minus 4. I get 3 over 2. These slopes are the same. So these slopes are equal, which means they are parallel lines. There is a third option. Lines can also be neither parallel nor perpendicular. Okay? So don't forget there's actually 3 possible answers. Second type of example that they're going to give you is to write an equation. In this case, we're going to write an equation that is both parallel and perpendicular to what? To, first of all, they give you an equation and they give you a point. So that means we are going to write an equation that goes through this point and relates to this equation. Again, our equations will look like point-slope form. So I'm going to write that out here because once we know a point and a slope, we're in business. In fact, right now, without even doing much work, we know that we have already 2 of those 3 blanks in both cases. We know that the y-coordinate is 4. We know the x-coordinate is -1. Okay? In both cases. Here I just have to figure out what is the slope of the line that's given to me. So again, we get y by itself by getting rid of that 2 in front. So we're going to divide both sides by 2. Again, the 2's on this side cancel, leaving me just y. On the right side, don't forget we have to divide the 2 into both of those pieces. So 3 divided by 2, I just write it as 3 halves x, plus 10 divided by 2 is 5. So we can see here the slope is 3 halves. Coming over then to my problem, parallel line will have the same slope. So we'll take the 3 halves and plug it in. A perpendicular line, again, will have the opposite reciprocal, which will be -2 over 3. Last thing we have to do there in each of these cases is to fix the subtract negative problem. I'll fix it on my last equation here. So y minus 4 equals -2/3 x plus 1. And again, the first equation there needs to be fixed there as well. All right, good luck in your homework. Hopefully your problems go easily and quickly.